All right, welcome back. And let's just close our eyes. Breathe in slowly all the way down to the bottom of our stomachs, all the way up. Slowly breathe out. Just take a couple deep breaths like that. And as you do so, just see if you can observe your mind. Is it in the past, the future, or the present? Mind saying? Is it being critical or loving? Is it repeating the words I'm saying? And now, if you can observe your mind, ask yourself, who is the one observing the mind? Ask yourself, who am I? You are that. You are not the mind. You are not your emotions. You are not the body. You are pure conscious awareness, pure peace, pure serenity, pure equanimity, pure infinite love. That is your very nature. Abide in the self, your true self. Whenever you're ready, feel free to open your eyes and come back. And remember to do this a few times throughout the day as a gentle reminder of your true self, your true essence, your true nature. It's very important to do this. Effortless effort, letting go, and the forgiveness practices I mentioned in previous videos. Do this before it becomes too late. If you're watching this, you still have a chance to realize the self. 99.99% of the population will not realize the self. This world is a trap. Realizing the self is how you escape it. Today's topic is on one health parameter I found very important for realizing the self. Too high or too low of this health biomarker could cause an impediment or chaos within the body, the opposite of stillness. And that health parameter is iron, ferritin, stored iron, mostly stored in the liver. Generally, for a male, 120 to 60 for ferritin is a general range to feel the optimal stillness. If it's too high, then it becomes an issue, and it creates a feeling somewhat of a dark cloud around someone and can induce anxiety, depression, anger. And this comes from over storage or overabundance of ferritin, which is stored iron. Mostly males have more of an issue because women have their monthly thing that they do, and men don't have that. And so the iron builds up over time. And a small number of people, of individuals, have hemochromatosis, which is a genetic cause for iron to be stored in high abundance. And so if I was on the path to realizing the self and didn't want to feel the negative effects of iron, too much iron, I would check ferritin levels and keep them generally under 100 is ideal. And this comes from many years of blood analysis. And women generally are good, but it's always good to check just in case. You could tell with men, I haven't seen it as much in women, but the bronzing effect of the skin. So there'll be like this super tan looking reddish bronze color in men, especially as they age. You can see it with some of the celebrities. They may want to test their blood and test their ferritin levels. And the way to remove that ferritin, the best way is through, or the fastest way is to bloodletting or blood donation. And there's other different ways like chelation and dietary modifications, but that's the fastest way. And that one's very important, not just for the realization of the self, but just overall quality of health, of life, overall quality of life. If you're induced in a feeling of negativity, of low emotional state, it's going to make life more difficult, more challenging. And it's not easy for anybody as it is, but you want to do the best you can to give ourselves the best chance at feeling good. And another bonus indicator, I would say, would be to measure your gut biome and candida, to measure those, because 90 to 95% of our serotonin is produced in the gut. And there's other hormones or neurotransmitters also produced in the gut. And I believe it's serotonin and maybe oxytocin, but don't quite recall at this time. But anyways, serotonin is very, very important. So you could do health testing through fecal analysis, and they have a few companies online that do this. Candida can also be measured. either through those or through blood test. And you could check your own blood. I would suggest everyone to check their own blood as well if you can't either through your doctor or through an independent laboratory like Ulta Labs or private labs, MD, something like that. Ulta Labs is a good one that I like to use. And so the gut microbiome and microbiome is super important for our overall mental health. It's very important. The food, especially in the United States, the junk food, the processed food, just causes havoc on the gut microbiome and promotes the non-beneficial bacteria and kills the um, and kills the good bacteria. So there seems to be a huge connection with mental health, neurotransmitters, hormones, an overall feeling of well-being and happiness with those health parameters that I mentioned. And even if you realize the self, it's still helpful to take care of the body through dietary, eating well, and exercising. Our body was meant to move. Our whole body was set up for movement. And if you're not exercising, you're doing yourself a disservice. And the two longevity parameters for health are VO2 max and thigh strength. So those are the two really big health parameters for longevity. If you keep your thighs very strong through strength work and your aerobic capacity strong through some sort of aerobic training, whether it be some high intensity intervals a couple times a week, maybe like 2 times 20 seconds, 2 or 3 times a week, as well as a little bit of strength work. And I would be remiss if I didn't recommend some balance and stretching type of work as well. But this movement helps to get rid of these emotions that are stored in our body, especially as one does the forgiveness and letting go techniques mentioned. So it's very, very important. I know, is it grief is stored in the lungs? There'll be people that like to run, especially when they're grieving, and it helps with coping and releasing of those. The main thing is to release them and not have them come back by letting them go, not just doing an exercise without the emotional connection of it being let go. If you know what if that makes sense. For example, if you're grieving, right, and grief is held in the lungs, so you run while you're grieving, but you don't know that your mind is creating or is going through these grieving loops, creating this emotion. So if you let it go while you're doing your exercise, or not while, but before or around, that time frame, then it won't come back, or at least not in that form. If that should make more sense. And that ends the topic in discussion for this video. And thank you for being here.